a matrix, and now here we are going to discuss the ways of solving linear equations in two variables. Just think about it. First of all, what is a linear equation and what is a linear equation in two variables? Linear equation means an equation whose power of the variable is 1 is usually mentioned as a linear equation. There are different types of linear equations. Linear equation in one variable, linear equations in two variables, linear equations in three variables. Like that, there are different types of linear equations. For suppose if I say 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. Just think about it. 2x plus 3 is equals to 0 is a linear equation in one variable, right? Whereas if I say some 2x minus y is equals to 4, it's a linear equation in two variables. Here the power of x is 1, power of y is 1. In the first equation also the power of x is 1. Okay, so linear equation in one variable, linear equation in two variables. Whereas for suppose if I frame an equation with three variables like 2x plus 3y minus 4z is equals to 5, and it is a linear equation in three variables. Basically, linear equation means the power of the variable is 1. If the equation involves with only one variable, linear equation in one variable. If it involves with two variables, we call it as linear equation in two variables. And if it involves with three variables, we call it as linear equation in three variables. And for all these things, okay, if you wish to construct, if you wish to sketch them on a graph paper, if you wish to sketch the graph of all these things, okay, this first linear equation in one variable represents a point, and whereas this 2x minus y is equals to 4, it represents a line, and this 2x plus 3y minus 4z is equals to 5 represents a plane. When you think these three in geometry wise, this linear equation in one variable always represents a point, and in two variables it represents a line, whereas in three variables it represents a plane. Okay, see, we are very familiar in solving linear equation in one variable. If 2x plus 3 is equals to 0, easily we will say that x is equals to minus 3 by 2, right? But what to say about this linear equation in two variables? Okay, for suppose if you take 2x minus y is equals to 4, a linear equation in two variables, I will say that y is equals to 2x minus 4. Yeah, just you rearrange, you get that y is equals to 2x minus 4. And then think about different values of x and y which are satisfying this y is equals to 2x minus 4. See, there are many possibilities will happen here. For suppose if you take, yeah, we just make a table corresponding to x as well as y. If x is minus 2, then simply I started with minus 2. Okay, if x is minus 2, then 2 into minus 2 minus 4 is 8. Y value is 8, and its corresponding point is minus 2 comma minus 8. If x is minus 1 and minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6, its corresponding point is minus 1 comma minus 6. If x is 0 and this is minus 4, and the point is 0 comma minus 4. If x is 1 and it is minus 2, then correspondingly you will get a point. Not only like this, if x is 1 by 2, then this 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Again you will get a point there, 1 by 2 comma minus 3. Whereas if you take x is equals to something like anything like 2, then 2 into 2, 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 comma 0 is again a point. See, you just look there. Y is equals to 2x minus 4 by taking different values in the place of x, and we are getting different values for y. And corresponding x and y, if you frame, it all will give a point there. And if you represent all these points on a line, see, if you represent all these points on a graph and the joining of all these points from a line, is it clear? Okay, if you represent these on a graph gives a line. That's my discussion. See, likewise, if you wish to find out the corresponding x and y, there exists infinite number of points, and all those infinite number of points will lie on a line. Okay, -2, -1, 0, 1, 1 by 2, 2. You just go on like that. 3, 4, 5, 6. You just take different values in the place of x. Always you will get different values for y, and corresponding x values and corresponding y values. If you collect together, you will get infinite number of points. If you represent all those infinite number of points in a two-dimensional graph sheet, and after that if you join all those things, it will give us a line. So that's the thing. So basically, if you have a linear equation in one variable, it represents just a point, whereas if you have a linear equation in two variables, it represents a line. And the next thing is, see what to say about linear equation in two variables, a pair of linear equation in two variables. That's we are going to discuss in the next point. First thing is, if you have a linear equation in two variables, it represents a line. That's it. Just have a look. Pair of linear equations in two variables. See, a pair means two. Linear equations means just as we discussed in two variables. So here we need to consider a pair of linear equations in two variables in the sense. So you need to take some equation like 2x minus y is equals to 4 is one line, as well as for suppose if you take x plus y is equals to 2 is another line. So this is one equation in two variables. This is another equation in two variables. These equations together are mentioned as a pair of linear equations in two variables, right? As we discussed, this first equation represents a line, and you may say it as line 1, whereas the second equation also represents a line, and we say it as line 2. Every single linear equation in two variables will generate infinite number of possible points, and if you locate all those infinite number of possible points corresponding to x and y on the graph sheet, all they form a line. So this equation will give us a line on the graph sheet, this equation will give us another line on the graph sheet. So you just think about having two linear equations in two variables is simply nothing but having two lines on a graph sheet. If you have two lines on a graph sheet, then what are the possibilities? If you have two lines on the graph sheet, then there are different possibilities. That two lines may be parallel, that two lines may be intersecting, that two lines may be coincident. Okay, see, when you think about two lines on a graph sheet, the two lines may be parallel, the two lines may be intersecting, and the two lines may be coincident, right? Okay, that's one part. And the next part is how to solve these two linear equations, pair of linear equations in two variables. Solving pair of linear equation in two variables is simply nothing but, on first equation there are infinite number of points, on the second equation there are infinite number of points. Solving these two is just nothing but finding a point which is common for these two lines. See, finding a point which is common for these two lines in the sense, if the lines are intersecting, then for sure there is a common point for these two lines, whereas if the lines are parallel, then we won't get a common point. And if the lines are coincident, we will get infinite number of common points for those two lines. Is it clear? See, I have two pair of linear equations in two variables. They represent two lines. The two lines may be parallel, intersecting, and may be coincident. And the next part is just simply solving. Okay, solving these two is simply nothing but finding a common point. See, always is there a chance to find the common point? Yeah. See, if they are intersecting, always there is a chance to find. If they are parallel, then we won't get the chance. There is no common point for the two lines. But usually we go with the procedure, and at the end we will conclude whether they are parallel, intersecting, or coincident, or we will conclude that about this common solution for the pair of linear equation in two variables. See, to solve a pair of linear equation in two variables, we have different types of methods. For solving, we have different types of methods. All those methods usually you learn from your earlier classes like 8th and 9th. Okay. See, for solving pair of linear equation in two variables, there is one method, usually we call it as trial and error. And another method is substitution method. and one more method is elimination method. Okay, trial and error method, substitution method, elimination method, graphical method. Okay, all these things I think you know from your earlier classes. And along this we have some formula method. Okay, and now in matrices we have matrix inversion method as well as Cramer's method. You just look at the names. Just I have a pair of linear equations in two variables. That means two simple equations involved with two variables x and y. To solve all these things, we have different types of methods, and those methods are trial and error method, substitution method, elimination method, graphical method, formula method, matrix inversion method, Cramer's method. Okay? So all these are different methods related to solving a pair of linear equations in two variables. All these methods you just learned in your previous classes, and now I am going to pay my concentration on this matrix inversion method and Cramer's method. Okay, just have a look. So this is 44C. So first find the equations, solve these two equations to find x and y just by elimination method first. And after that we can discuss that matrix inversion method and Cramer's method and everything. See, just eliminating in the sense, first of all we need to eliminate any one of the variable, either x or y. Eliminate one variable and find out the value of the other variable. For suppose here if you look, here in the first equation I have minus y, and in the second equation I have plus y. So it is easy to eliminate y on adding these two equations, and that's why just I am adding these two. If I add these two equations and simply by elimination method, this y and y will get cancelled, and we have that 3x is equals to 6 and x is equals to 2. So just by eliminating y, easily we get that x value as 2. And then using this x is equals to 2 in any one of the equation, we will get that y value. Okay. So then see, you just replace this x is equals to 2 in any one of the equation. You say simply the second equation, then 2 plus y is equals to 2, and you will get that y is equals to 0. That in the sense, therefore the values of x and y are simply 2 comma 0. You just think once again, the first equation represents a line in the graph sheet, second equation represents another line in the graph sheet. See, these two lines maybe intersect at some point, and that common point is simply 2 comma 0. There are infinite number of points on the first line, as well as there are infinite number of points on the second line, and if you sketch them, and those two lines will intersect at the point 2 comma 0. Okay, and sketching the graph, identifying the common point is the graphical method, and solving it by this elimination method is the algebraic way, and at the end the solution is 2 comma 0. Okay, just have a look. And then in the next point D, we are going to solve it using matrix inversion method and everything. Just have a look. Solving these two linear equations, just we did in elimination method, and now we are going to solve them using matrix inversion method. See, to solve linear equations using matrix inversion method, first of all we need to convert the given linear equations into matrix form. Okay, this is basically we call it as algebraic form, and we need to convert them into matrix form. Okay, so to convert them into matrix form, see, this 2x minus y is equals to 4 and x plus y is equals to 2. You simply write them as like this. See, matrix 2x minus 5 as well as x plus y is equals to matrix 4 and 2. If you equalize corresponding elements, then you will get the algebraic form, and this is usually the matrix form. And then again we can rewrite this matrix form like this. So this implies, yeah, this 2x minus y and x plus y. See, I have a chance to write like this: 2 minus 1 1 1 into x y is equals to 4 2. Just have a look. See, this 2x minus y and x plus y is simply nothing but product of these two. We know the multiplication of matrices, right? See, how can we multiply? First row along with the column. So 2 into x minus y is this element, as well as the second row with the column. 1 into x plus 1 into y is this x plus y. Just this is the algebraic form, and it is the matrix representation. and it is rewriting of that matrix representation. Just have a look, okay? This 2 minus 1 1 1 is a matrix of order 2 by 2, whereas this xy is a matrix of order 2 by 1, and if you combine, since this 2 is common, the resultant matrix is of order 2 by 1, and this is also of the order 2 by 1. There ends, the balance is clear, okay? And now you just look there. See, 2 minus 1 1 1 xy is equals to 4 2, and we usually represent this first matrix as A and the second matrix as X, and that is equals to B, okay? And there are some special names for this, right? Here this A is usually mentioned as coefficient matrix. We call it as what? Coefficient matrix. And specifically here our A for the given matrix, given equations is 2 minus 1 1 1, okay? That A is mentioned as what? Coefficient matrix, and that X is taken as variable matrix. Variable matrix, and here it is matrix XY, and that B is mentioned as constant matrix because it represents the constant elements, right? So we call it as what? Constant matrix. And that constant matrix here for the given equations is 4 comma 2. So at the end, after having a pair of linear equation in two variables, here we are discussing for two variables, and the next point, maybe in 45, we need to extend this idea for the linear equation in three variables. Just to analyze that linear equation in three variables concept very easily, first of all, we are discussing everything for linear equation in two variables. So for a given pair of linear equation in two variables, easily we will write its matrix form like this: Ax is equals to B. You just try to memorize the way. Directly write this matrix as this Ax is equals to B, where that A is the coefficient matrix and it contains the coefficient elements, okay? 2 minus 1 1 and 1, whereas that X is the variable matrix, so the involved variables like X Y, and that B is the constant matrix 4 comma 2, okay? And at the end, solving these two linear equations in two variables is simply nothing but solving this matrix equation to find this variable matrix, right? So solving this equation in the sense we need to find the values of small x and small y. So solving these two equations is simply nothing but solving this matrix equation to find this variable matrix. If you find this variable matrix, then automatically you will get the values of small x and small y. There ends of the task, okay? Just have a look at this. How to convert the given equations in algebraic form to a matrix form, and after that we are going to discuss the way of solving it, okay? Just have a look. Right, so now I will erase for the space. So we are discussing this what matrix inversion method. So at the end, yeah, see the given equations, easily we will express them in matrix form, and simply this is nothing but the matrix representation is 2 minus 1 1 1 when multiplied with the variable matrix xy give results as a constant matrix 4 2, and you just simply represent this coefficient matrix as A, variable matrix as X, and constant matrix as B. Ax is equals to B I have, and I need to find what? X. So for that what I do is I need X, I don't need this A, so sending A that side is not there in matrices, so we need to multiply both sides with A inverse to eliminate this A. That's why our next step is A inverse of Ax is equals to A inverse B. Just have a look. And A inverse of Ax, as we mentioned, matrices has an associative property. This A inverse of Ax is simply nothing but A inverse A into X is equals to A inverse B. And as I mentioned you, by the definition of the inverse, this A inverse into A is simply nothing but identity. So since this matrix is identity, identity matrix when multiplied with any other matrix will give us again what? The same X, okay? This is identity. Identity into X is here, again X. From there it is very clear that X is equals to A inverse B. So we are going to find that variable matrix X, and that X is formulated as A inverse into B, and that implies x is equals to A inverse. We have a rule for the A inverse as 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A and now into B. Actually x is A inverse B and we know that A inverse has 1 by det A into adjoint A and into B. So finding x is simply nothing but finding this one. So this is equals to, this implies x is equals to 1 by determinant of A. Since we have some practice on this way of finding determinants, you just directly find the determinant. What is the determinant? 2 into 1 minus 1. AD minus BC, right? 2 into 1 is 2 minus of minus 1. Minus of minus 1 means plus 1. So this determinant is 2 minus of minus 1 into adjoint of A. Yeah, adjoint of A is simply nothing but interchange these two and then multiply with the minus sign for these two. So interchanging of these two, A and D, is simply nothing but 1 and 2. And then you need to multiply these two elements with minus sign. So it becomes 1 and it becomes minus 1. This is adjoint of A. And then we need to multiply this adjoint of A with the B, which is the constant matrix 4, 2. So now here we need to simplify something. Okay. So the way of simplification, just have a look. 1 by 2 minus of minus 1, just look there. X is equals to 1 by 3 into, and multiplication is how it possible. First row with the column 1, 1, 4 to right. 1 into 4 is 4 plus 1 into 2 is 2. Right. And then second row with this column minus 1 into 4 minus 4 plus 2 into 2 is 4. So just look there. 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 4 plus 4 is 0, and we have 1 by 3 also. So this is equals to matrix 6 by 3 and then 0 by 3. So x is the matrix 6 by 3 and 0 by 3. So if you conclude here, okay, x is equals to 6 by 3 is 2, 0 by 3 is 0. And what is x? That x is the variable matrix xy, and that's we found it as 2 comma 0. And at the end, what is x? That x is 2 and y is 0 at the end. Okay, just have a look, and this is all matrix inversion method. Okay, if you solve some problems, okay, easily you will analyze this matrix inversion method. So at the end, while solving matrix inversion method, no need of these steps also. You just directly first convert this algebraic form into the matrix form and then directly write this Ax is equals to B. From there x is equals to A inverse B and then continue like that. Okay. So previously in C 44C we solved the given linear equation in two variables using elimination method. There we found the values of the variables x and y as 2 and 0, and now here about the matrix inversion method. Okay. So once again, to solve the linear equations in matrix inversion method, first of all we need to convert the given equations from algebraic form to the matrix form. And after converting from algebraic form to the matrix form, simply you need to find out that variable matrix x as A inverse B. And after that, with the definition of A inverse, easily we will solve it, and then we will get that variable matrix. From there, small x and small y. Just have a look. The next thing is formula method. In formula method, we need to find a formulas to find x and y directly. Right. So in finding that formulas for x and y, again we have different chances. Using elimination method, there is a chance to find. Using inversion method, again there is a chance. So now here I am using that inversion method to find direct formulas for x and y. So to solve this using inversion method, I need to express them into matrix form. Okay. These are the equations in algebraic form, and while expressing in matrix form, I need to first consider the coefficients like a1, b1, a2, b2 when multiplied with the variable matrix xy is equals to constant matrix c1, c2. Okay, and usually we will represent this variable coefficient matrix as a, variable matrix as x, and constant matrix as b. And since Ax is equals to b, in the next step directly we will write that x is equals to A inverse b. Okay, And since x is equals to A inverse B, what you say about A inverse? A inverse is 1 by det A into adjoint of A into B. Is it right? Right. And then we know the way of finding det A as well as the way of writing adjoint A, and after that we will multiply that adjoint A with B. Okay, just have a look. This implies x is equals to, okay, yeah, 1 by, what you say, det A. Det A is what? A1, B1, A2, B2, right? Okay, A1, B1, A2, B2 means A1, B2 minus A2, B1 it is. Okay, or otherwise for some time you just leave that det A like that only. Okay, see, I will use that. X is equals to 1 by det A into adjoint of A. What you say about adjoint of A? Adjoint of A is simply interchange these two and then attach minus signs for these two. So interchange these two, you will get that B2 and then here A1. After that you just attach minus signs for these two. Minus B1 and then here minus A2. Right. We need to multiply this with what? We need to multiply it with a C1, C2, the constant matrix which is B. So this is equals to 1 by det A into the matrix. So just try to multiply. How can we multiply? First row with the column, okay? It becomes like B2 C1 minus B1 C2. And the second row with the column, which is nothing but minus A2 C1 plus A1 C2. Is it right? So this capital X is this. And at the end we will rewrite this. This capital X is simply nothing but what? The variable matrix X and Y. When you equalize this variable matrix X and Y with this, okay, yeah, then at the end the variable matrix X, Y is equals to the matrix B2 C1 minus B1 C2 divided by determinant of A. And for the next one, we will say it like this. How? Minus A2 C1 plus A1 C2 determinant divided by determinant of A. So this variable matrix xy is equals to that matrix, okay? And at the end easily we will equalize that x and y, and if you equalize that x and y, you will get the values of x and y, the formulas for x and y. From there we will conclude that x is equals to, what we will say, x is equals to b2 c1 minus b1 c2 divided by determinant of A. So the determinant of A is simply nothing but A1 B2 minus A2 B1, right? Yeah, we will write it like this. A1 B2 minus A2 B1. And what you say about x? Y. Y is that minus A2 C1 plus A1 C2 divided by determinant of A. So yeah, the same thing we just write like this. Minus A2 C1 plus A1 C2 divided by A1 B2 minus A2 B1. So if you have two linear equation in two variables like A1x plus B1y is equals to C1 and A2x plus B2y is equals to C2, simply locate the values of A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 from the equations and use those A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, replace them in this as formulas, you will get that x and y. But memorizing these two to find that small x and small y is bit complicated for us. So that's why easily we don't use this formula method to find x and y. We will use just elimination method to find x and y, okay? And we will use matrix inversion method to find that variables x, y or sometimes z for linear equations in three variables. But we don't use this formula method. But this formula method helps us to establish the next way of finding, which is the Cramer's method, and that's why I mentioned here. Okay, just have a look. So the next thing is Cramer's method. Solving linear equation in two variables by Cramer's method is simply nothing but rewriting the formulas for x and y using determinants is simply Cramer's method. Okay. For suppose if you have these equations like a1x plus b1y is equals to c1 and a2x plus b2y plus c2, then in Cramer's method, first of all we will consider that delta is a matrix which is usually our A, the coefficient matrix a1 b1 A2, B2. Okay, this delta is simply our A, which is the coefficient matrix, but delta, delta 1, delta 2 are the notations involved in the Cramer's method, and that's why we are just representing this matrix with delta, right? And then delta 1. Delta 1 is a matrix, okay, matrix with rewriting this first column A1, A2 with this coefficient matrix C1, C2. Okay, delta 1 is C1, C2, B1, B2 according to the Cramer's method. Okay, and delta 2 is simply rewriting this second column with C1, C2. Okay, first thing is just like A1, A2, and the second one is C1, C2. Just look there. This delta, delta 1, delta 2 are simply notations. Okay, we need to accept them like this. See, Cramer's method involves with the name Cramer. Okay, a mathematician, Cramer developed a simple way to find the solutions for the linear equations, not only for 2 variables, for 3 variables, and then for 4 and extension also. Okay, and here simply we are discussing for 2 variables. As I mentioned you, to solve linear equation in 2 variables, elimination method is very comfortable for all of us. But to extend these ideas for 3 variables, initially we are discussing for 2 variables. That's it. Okay, right. Then by Cramer's method, first of all, you need to consider the matrices delta, delta 1 and delta 2. Delta is the usual coefficient matrix. Delta 1 is simply rewriting the first column of the coefficient matrix with the constant elements, and delta 2 is rewriting the coefficient matrix by replacing the second column with the constant matrix. Okay, and then it is very easy if you observe. Then by Cramer's method, what to say about the values of x? And in formulas method we found it like this: b2 c1 minus b1 c2 by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Okay, just think about the numerator. b2 c1 minus b1 c2 is simply nothing but this determinant of delta 1, right? b2 c1 minus b1 c2. So after considering this delta, delta 1, delta 2, Cramer's just expressed those formulas in terms of these deltas as that x is equals to determinant of delta 1 divided by determinant of delta, and y is equals to determinant of delta 2 divided by determinant of delta. That's simply Cramer's method. Just have a look. Determinant of delta 1 is b2 c1 minus b1 c2, that's the numerator, and this determinant of this delta is the denominator. And whereas coming to y, the numerator is what there? a1 c2 minus a2 c1. So just simply a1 c2 minus a2 c1 is simply the determinant of delta 2. So determinant of delta 2 divided by determinant of delta. So according to the Cramer's, to find the variables x and y, we need to use these formulas for x and y, and where the delta, delta 1, delta 2 are simply these matrices. So instead of memorizing those formulas, it is easy for us to memorize this delta, delta 1 and delta 2. So delta is simply nothing but the coefficient matrix. Delta 1 is the coefficient matrix by replacing the first column with the constant elements. Delta 2 is simply the same coefficient matrix by replacing the second column with the constants. So if you memorize just that trick, if you are able to notate this delta, delta 1 and delta 2, then easily you will calculate determinants, and from there the values of x and y. Okay, so this is f. All these things just related to the linear equation in 2 variables. And in the next class, we are going to discuss the way of finding solutions for linear equations in 3 variables with 1 by 1 methods. Okay, and now just you try to solve in G. We have these equations, right? 2x minus y is equals to 4, x plus y is equals to 2. Just try to solve these 2 equations in Cramer's method. Write delta, delta 1, delta 2, and then use these two. X is equals to delta 1 by delta and y is equals to determinant of delta 2 by delta to find x and y. Okay, just have a look. So ultimately at the end, usually we use just Cramer's method to find the values of x and y. Okay, to find that values of x and y in Cramer's method, we need the formulas actually, and to find those formulas we utilize the matrix inversion method. And to check whether the matrix inversion method is correct or wrong, we need this basic elimination method. And that's why we are extending the ideas from elimination method to the inversion method to the formula method to the Cramer's method, and in the next point we just develop it from Cramer's method to cross multiplication method as you wish, right? Just have a look.